Hey guys, this is Blair, the Love Guru. Um, the Love Guru Blair. Call me by my official name. So I'm excited and I'm a little bit nervous about sharing with you guys what I'm going to talk about. It's just like an excitement. I'm really excited. And you know what? I really don't even know why I'm so excited. I just am. So today is November 18th, 2014, and I first started talking to you guys about my alien contact, because that's what we're talking about in this video. It has been many months. I have not been sharing what's been going on, but just to kind of track the timeline, at the end of March was when I first received contact from my star family, who I call Zeke. That is my star brother. And there's a lot more details. You know, there's a lot of beings that comes with him. Oh, God, it's so exciting. This is like, you know, this stuff is things that I was never interested in. I have never studied about aliens, UFOs. I was never interested in it. It just was not on my radius. I would hear people talk about UFOs like once in a blue, you know, people trying to chase down certain things. But I was never interested in that. I never watched videos on YouTube about it. I never read books about it. I just was never interested. And even now, I'm not even interested about reading about other people's accounts. I'm just so excited about what's been happening for me here. So let's track the timeline. The end of March was when I first received contact from star beings, which people call aliens, which is like totally disrespectful. They're called star beings. We're human beings. They're star beings, okay? So let's get that right out of the gate. So that was the end of March. Now this is almost 8 months later, because it's November 18th, 2014. So, right, I figured this out. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah. So it's almost the 8-month mark. And what's been happening over the last, I really have to check my notes. I think it's been happening over the last month. So figure around the 7th month mark or the end of the 6th month mark, whatever. I think probably 6 months, I guess. Okay. So what's been happening is that for all these 6 months, 7 months, Zeke has been coming to me. My star family has been coming to me and communicating with me, like in my home. Now, what has shifted in this last month is that I have been going to them now. Oh my God, that just, it fills me with so much like energy, excitement, nervousness. It's totally crazy, right? It's totally crazy, but it's also like really, really interesting and really, really cool. So last night, I had a big shift about this whole thing. And over the several months, I told you guys, I have been, you know, I got to fix this. It's bothering me. Okay. So over the 6 months, I have been communicating with Zeke, and Zeke told me to start writing about our interactions. So basically, like, I'll talk to him and I write it out or I type it out. So I have been tracking all our interactions, which really hasn't been the most fun thing at times. It's a little bit of like a drag because I don't always like, you know, sometimes I write it in my journal and I don't feel like typing it. It's like dictation, you know? but I do it for humanity, because it's important for me to share this journey. That is one of the ways that I teach, is that I share my journey. And when you hear my journey, you experience healing, you experience activations, and that is the gift I give you guys through these videos. That is the gift I give you through my writing, through my books. And so Zeke told me right when I met him that I should be writing all this stuff down, because this is going to be my 3rd book, and that I should write it down for other people to read so that they can go through their own experiences, their own activations. This is so exciting. I just, like, even in talking about it here, I just feel so excited about it. And it's weird to my mind, because I'm like, why are you so excited about it? Like, you don't really care about this stuff. But it's so exciting to me. I feel like I'm in a sci-fi movie, but it's like way better. And I don't really know anything about sci-fi movies, because I don't really watch that stuff. You know, years ago, there was one sci-fi movie, but it wasn't about aliens. I don't know. So, I just feel so excited. So anyway, right in the beginning, Zeke was like, you write this stuff down. This is going to be your 3rd book. He gave me the title for it, and I just, like a dedicated servant, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve humanity. So like a dedicated servant, I was typing all these 8 months now. And, you know, there's been ebbs and flows of shifts and things that have been opening up for me, and different things that have happened. I had my Kundalini awakening during this time. Zeke helped me with that. I talked about this stuff a little bit in my other videos. So things have been happening, and my psychic gifts have been opening more. And I have been balancing more the spiritual life and the material worlds. I got confirmation about that this week, about how I've been doing a good job and I've been mastering that. So I have been writing this book, and last night I had this fucking crazy, sorry, I don't even need to swear at that time. I'm sorry, let me just beep that. I had this crazy experience last night. So this was the evening, the nighttime of November 17th. I'm like remembering it for myself, because, you know, I don't even know who to talk to about this stuff, because it's just so out of the norm. So I had this like crazy experience. And like I said, like I have been experiencing that I have been going to other galaxies and other worlds. And the word that keeps coming to me is outer worldly contact, outer worldly experiences, OWC, OWE. I made this up. Well, not me. I mean, this came from spirit, from Zeke. Is he considered spirit? I don't even think he's considered spirit. He's not considered spirit. He's considered, I don't know. I'm going to have to ask him about that. I don't know what he's considered, but he's not spirit. And that was really clear to me last night when I had this experience, which, by the way, I wake up in the middle of this experience, or I guess at the end of it, you know? Because I had something freaky deaky happen to me like a couple weeks ago, that this other being was like, you're in another dimension and this is your parallel life. And I was like, holy shit. And I woke up and I was like, oh my God. I was like, basically I've been meeting other star beings. Like they have been like, hey Blair, let's hang out. It's like a reunion. That's what I'm thinking it is. Well, it is that. But I still have like some nervousness and some fear about it. And I'm working on clearing it. I'm going to. Today I have to do a lot of processing amongst other things, because I have been given my marching orders today because it is time for me to release part of this book. That's also what I'm really excited about and a little bit nervous about too. So I had this like crazy experience last night, and it was also like really interesting too, about, it was me experiencing me being in another world, in another like galaxy, and in another dimension, and then seeing myself like I was playing multiple parts in this dream. Oh my God, this is crazy. So, and crazy in a good way. I mean, I could have never even like dreamt this stuff up. I mean, it's like almost, I don't know. It's like part of me is like, a big part of me is like, I want more of these experiences. These are awesome. These are crazy. These are like just so outer worldly. And so part of me is like, I want to have these experiences more and more. The other part of me, which is like the human part of me, the ego part of me, and the little like fearful part of me is like, oh my God, this is a little bit scary. Because that's what has happened. Like the two times so far that I remember, and last night was a significant shift, that I woke up in the middle of this or at the end of this. I mean, I think it was perfect the amount of time I experienced in this other world. I wake up and I am like, what the fuck happened? I'm like seriously, like I will sit up in my bed and I'll be like, oh my God, where was I? And Zeke's there and he's like, everything's okay. And I'm calling on my like angels and guides. Like this is what became really clear to me yesterday. Like angels and guides don't go to those other dimensions unless this is just not being aware, unless this is just not information that's being made available to me right now. Because it's a lot to take in. I'm like processing a lot from this experience and from these experiences. But usually when I'm connecting to higher realms, this is like just really cool. It's really cool. I'm excited to make this video. So usually when I'm connecting to other realms, my angels, I call in my angels, I call in my guides, and they're holding the space for me. So I'm connecting then to my guides, communicating with them. I'm connecting to ascended masters. I'm connecting to my ancestors. Mostly, ascended masters. And whoever else, like whatever else I'm doing in these other realms in my communication. So I always have my angels around me and I always have my guides. And Zeke is always there like in the background hanging out. I kind of feel like that's not his forte. It's not. So now what happened was like I woke up, I was kind of scared. Not like totally freaked out, but in a way, yeah, but in a way, no. And I was calling on my angels and guides and I was like, are you guys there with me? Because the fear is that I go out there and like, will I be able to come back? That has been the fear. The two times that I remember that I woke up, that was like really distinct experiences. And the first time was like a short one that I saw this other being like right in my face. Oh my God, this is just like good stuff. I mean, I feel like you can't even make up this, how good it is. So last night I came back and I was like, that was my fear. Like it was a longer experience. And I came back and I was saying to my angels and my guides, I was like, I'm afraid that I might like end up staying out there. Like what means that I won't come back here? Like who's holding the space for me? Like this is like I'm in another world. That's what it is. otherworldly contact, otherworldly experience, outerworldly experience. I'm like, how do I know I'm safe? And I was basically like, angels, are you there with me? Are you guides? Are you there with me? And basically, like, the answer was like, no. Not said so harsh like that, but Zeke was like, I'm there with you. I'm the one who's there holding the space for you, making sure you're okay. I gotta just breathe that in for a minute. I feel like nervousness in my stomach because I mean, I see the experiences that I've had with Zeke and in him letting me know that he's there for me, that I could trust him, that I could rely on him, that the things he says to me are true. Because, you know, things like he gives me really good advice. He helps me work through my fears. And I'm going to be talking to him this afternoon because I need to like clear through some stuff and process this experience. But so I had this experience last night and I was up at like 1:30 and I could not go back to sleep. So I was just like kind of laying there and I was dozing in and out again in other dimensions, but I wasn't all the way out there. And what came through, and I feel like this was from Zeke or just a general comment or a general like kind of, I want to say orders, but it's not like you do it or else. It's guidance, but it's not like, you know, when I get guidance, I've noticed because since I've been doing these psychic readings for like a lot of people in this like lounge club environment, which I've been so grateful for that. It's been such a great experience. I love it. And it keeps on expanding too. I mean, last Friday I was there and I was doing mini heart healings on everybody that came to me. And it was before what I was doing was like sharing guidance, but things like went so deep. And what amazes me is like, I'm only speaking to these people for like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm doing a reading for them. They ask me about like whatever in their life, like health issues. I mean, you know, that's what's cool about it too, is like, I think that for many years, people were like looking at my website or because of my name, the Love Guru, people were like coming to me just for like dating stuff or relationship stuff, as in like relationship, as in intimate relationships, you know, marriage and like dating somebody and whatever. But what's been happening is that, you know, I help people with a relationship with everything. You're in a relationship with everything in your life. So yeah, that's a relationship with like a partner, but it's also a relationship with your family members. It's a relationship with your health. It's a relationship with your money. It's a relationship with your career, your relationship with life, your relationship with friends, your relationship with yourself. So I have been helping people doing, again, like I said, these like mini readings, which have turned into heart healings this last week, which went deeper. I'm seeing like I'm connecting the dots again. So things went deeper this Friday, which was just a couple of days ago. That everybody I was connecting to, you know, I help people with some like health stuff. I was helping people with some stuff with their relationship with their kids. I was helping people with some stuff with their relationship with their partner. What else was I doing? I was helping some people with their career. So with these different outlets that I'm helping people, so that's what amazes me, is that like I'm just like amazing myself on how like these things are opening up for me, my gifts are opening up for me, how things are going deeper, how my relationship with the world is shifting. It's fantastic because I have been working really hard at this my whole life. I've been on this path. Well, my whole life, since my 20s. Which has been like a solid like 15 plus years. So So what I was saying is that I realize in working with so many people that when I do these mini readings, which is something I totally don't have to do, but I do because of who I am and the way that my gift works. And again, who I am is just, I give people guidance as like exercises of what they can do. And this is from spirit. Like, yeah, I'm speaking it to them like a normal person, like we're having a conversation, but it's channeled from spirit. And what I realize is that a lot of people don't do the exercises, don't do the guidance. I still share it with them. I make it available to them, the tools. But I notice a lot of people don't do the guidance that's shared, and that's their free will. But what I'm saying is the contrast, the difference here is that when I get guidance from spirit, or when someone's speaking to me, channeling spirit, because I can tell like when that's coming through, and I've always done this, is that I follow it. I follow the guidance. I've always have, because again, I'm just such a diligent worker. I knew I came here for a certain mission. I knew I came here to do big things in this world, and I knew I had to get myself ready. So because of that, I have always like sought out psychics and healers, really not so much psychics, but I've sought out like spiritual teachers and healers, and really just wanted to like, I kept on like my human self, and I think it was also my spirit self, just kept on pushing me through. Get yourself ready, clear this, heal this, you know, gain more power as far as like you're opening your psychic and healing gifts. And I'm just feeling really accomplished like the last couple of months, because I see these things coming together, and I see the gold appearing at the end of the rainbow. You know, I see that pot of gold that I've been working towards. Like these new beginnings are opening up for me. This abundance is coming through. Abundance and prosperity, like things have been coming through. And that's what I was saying in the beginning, like how I have been successfully learning on how to balance the spiritual and the material. And that is fantastic. I mean, that is power. To me, that is one of the definitions of power, being able to master both of them. Whew. I mean, that's what I always say. Spiritual people are the most powerful people in this world, but they walk around like the weakest ones. So many spiritual people walk around like they're so weak and present themselves in the world like they're so weak. We're not weak people. We are the most powerful ones. It's about gaining mastery over that and then bringing it into this material world. Oh, this is great. I am loving this time of my life. I'm loving it. And I feel like I have to say, it's not without experiences that I have to work through. But with that said, I just am in such a space that I am really loving it. So the guidance, back to this experience with the star being, because I was talking about the guidance or the orders that came through, because that's how I look at it, is like, for me, I can't ignore the guidance that comes through. And that's why I don't really understand on how people, well, it's not their time, but I have never been able to ignore guidance that was given to me. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong with that. But so after I had this outer worldly experience last night, and I was just kind of dazed and confused, trying to sort through like what I had just experienced, because again, it was just so out of this world. The guidance that came through, the orders that came through was like, time to release your book. You put together, this is going to be volumes. And because originally I was thinking this was just going to be one book. But last night it was like, no, you release the first 200 pages or so. And that's what I'm working on today. That's what I'm going to start working on today. I wanted to make the video first, and then I have to speak to Zeke for a while. And then I started working on it a little bit. I started working on the cover. But this book is coming out now, this first volume. And it's going to be a lot of volumes. It's like, it's a series, which I was always saying that. I was always saying it was a series, but I always looked at it as a trilogy. My first book, the Do You Know My Husband, which is out now, that's how my journey started. And then the second book about marriage and soulmate and being with my soulmate and then turned into a twin flame, that experience, and about healing. Karma, that's the second book. And then I thought the third book was going to be this alien book. But it ends up that, again, Zeke, which I feel like it was more than Zeke that was saying this to me, was like, you release this first volume. The first 200 pages, you release. It's time. And this is, so now I have something to do, now I have to work on this. And I feel like it's going to be a quick turnaround. So just stay tuned. I feel like this first book, first volume, which I have to look back over the pages, because now I get to go back over these last 8 months and I get to reread, which, I mean, that's quite a task. Like, now I have to read 200 pages or so to see where the cutoff is to end this first volume. I mean, are you excited about reading this book? I am excited about sharing it with you guys. I'm also like a little bit nervous. I mean, because the first part of this book has to do with sexual stuff. And I shared a little bit about this in my other videos, but now you're going to be able to read the full experience. And this first part was when my Kundalini awakening happened. And how did that happen? Well, Zeke was the one who helped me raise my energy so much, working with sexual energy to get that moving. So I feel like it's kind of like a raw book, as in raw sexual, raw me being vulnerable. But the other part of me is like, whatever, like, this is an experience that I had and that many other people have too, that they don't really talk about so much in the mainstream. And it's kind of the feeling that I have with all the experiences that I share, because all my books are very personal. If you've read my first book, Do You Know My Husband, which if you haven't, I strongly suggest that you get that book, because whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you're looking for the one or not, because obviously it's called Do You Know My Husband? So whether you are or not, there's 2 layers to that book. There's the one layer, which you learn an easier way of attracting the one, of looking for love. There's like loads of dating and relationship Q&A in there too, and advice. And also, even if you're in a relationship, it teaches you how to better be in a relationship with your partner, how for things to go smoother and easier. I mean, that's what I'm all about. I'm always like, let me figure this out so I can have an easy life, an easy, fun, enjoyable life. Still learn my lessons, but a fun, easy, enjoyable life. So besides that, so that's one layer of the story, is like how to attract the one. And that's if you just look at things on the surface level. If you look at things on a deeper level, it's the story of how I went from being a mainstream person, like an everyday person interested in spirituality, to this transformation, like really getting on my path. Now, besides you reading that and being like, oh, that's cool, that happened for Blair, understand that, again, the way that my gifts work is that when you read my words, you go through an activation. You receive healings. You go through an activation. You shift in your life too. So you're speeding up your ascension process too. You're speeding up your spiritual growth and your healing. And you're speeding up the journey for you to get on your path to be doing what you're meant to do in this world. And also have like a more enjoyable life, because those were the basis of things that I learned about how to attract the one into my life, just like that, how to manifest it. So whenever I want a partner, I just like put these tools to use that I teach in this book that Spirit taught me. Back then I was calling it the universe. So I just put these tools to work, you know, on how I work with the universe on how to attract love. And what happened is, like, since I've learned that and mastered those techniques, I have since applied it to how I live my life, on how I attract good things into my life easily and effortlessly. Again, just using these steps. It's a step-by-step process. But this book is shared in a story format. So if you've read books like The Alchemist, if you've read like The Celestial Prophecy, if you've read, what was it, other book? I was just thinking of another, well, you know, let's just say those two. I think there's one called The Prophet, which I have not read. What's that other book? I don't know. There was another book that I was going to list that I was thinking, something with a man. I forgot right now. But if you've read The Celestial Prophecy, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. And like, if you've read The Alchemist, that's how my book is that it's a story. It takes you on a journey. But those journeys that you read about in those two books are fiction. Mine is nonfiction. It's real life of what happened to me, the person you see in front of you. So following in that manner, that's what this book now is about, that is coming out. I don't want to share the title just yet, but that is what my job right now is to do, is to get this book ready for print. Let me fix my bra. And you're going to be able to read it, and you're going to be able to start having these experiences, because again, you get activated when you read this stuff. Your mind expands that you get to have these experiences too. So that is what has been happening in my world. One of the many things that has been happening in my world, that rather than the star beings coming into my own bedroom, into my own home, I am now going out there to go visit them. And I am trusting Zeke to hold the space for me. And I love him, and he loves me. So I know I'm going to be safe. I know I am safe, but that's what I'm working through now. So volume 1 is coming out soon. Can you believe this? God, it's coming out much sooner than I had thought, than I had planned, and in a different way than I had planned. So watch this space, as my British friends say, as my English friends say, watch this space, because I will show you the book when it comes out. I will let you know when it's out, and then you can start reading about my initial contact with my star being, my star family, so you can have that experience too if you want that. That's available for you too. And I'll get over my nervousness, embarrassment, whatever it is, having to share these sexual experiences with you, with having my Kundalini awakening because of being connected with Zeke, my star brother. Wow. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.